Welcome to video 30 of Exposing the Beast System. Right now, I need you to forget everything that you have ever learned in this world and start fresh. Start fresh. Okay, now in this video, we are going to be talking about electromagnetic frequencies, 5G, 6G, and the health issues that are associated with both of those technologies. Because these technologies, folks, are merely designed to destroy the human being. That's absolutely 100% what this technology does. Now, microwave frequencies, electromagnetic frequencies, are very powerful, but they are very short banded. And what I mean by that is that they can't travel very far. They can't travel very far at all. All of these towers that you see going up, the 5G is most effective if each tower is no more than 720 feet apart. Yeah, for your number 9, exactly. Of course, everything that they do is based in all of their nonsense. But the EMF frequencies are nonetheless damaging to the human being. They just cook us, folks. We've been using microwaves to cook our food, or at least warm it up, all of our lives. And that's what they plan on doing with these microwave frequencies. It's the proverbial pot of boiling water. The frog in the pot of boiling water, you've heard that story. Well, that is what they are building right now. Donald Trump is perpetuating the greatest crime against humanity in my lifetime. Most other things have been hoaxes. All of these, these holocausts and all of the numbers that they give you of the people that died. Those are all nonsensical numbers, all lies perpetuated by the same people. Now, electromagnetic frequencies, it's going to invade your privacy at first. It's going to invade your privacy. That's what they're going to do with it. If you understand what an MRI is, for those of you that have had an MRI in your lifetime, it's magnetic resonance imaging. It uses magnetic frequencies to image a particular part of your body that they want to take a closer look at. Well, these magnetic frequencies can see through anything in 3 dimensions. It's the same thing as a backscatter machine when you walk through the airport, which is thanks to 9/11, the big hoax of 9/11. Let me tell you something, folks. I have talked to dozens of people that were on the ground on the day of 9/11, people that were actually in New York City. I make this a point of my life whenever I go to the East Coast to ask people. And I've talked to a lot of people on the East Coast, and even some on the West Coast that were actually there that day. And they say that they didn't see any planes, that there were no planes flying around, crashing into buildings. They were just explosions. There were no planes. Those planes were added later by Hollywood and then broadcast over our media and then blamed on some guy in a cave over in Afghanistan. Nobody can attack the United States. The only person that could ever attack the United States is the devil himself, and he's already running the show. What's he got to win? MRIs, magnetic resonance imaging. That's what it uses, folks. It uses the same technology. It's just a lot stronger in an MRI machine. All of those poles going up and all of those antennas on those poles are just like a big MRI machine. They can look through your house, they can look through your car, they can look through anything with that technology. They can see everything going on. It's going to be a big invasion of your privacy at first, and then it's going to get much, much worse. There are ways to protect yourself. There are ways to protect yourself from these demons, from these devils. And right here is one of them. This is a magnetron. This is a 15. This is 15 11/16 rare earth magnets strung pole to pole so that they repel each other. I just use these magnets right here because they're easier to work with. The smaller they get, they're just hard to string together pole to pole and actually get them wrapped up and to get them tied down and get them so they're actually useful. But this gives me about an 8 foot or 9 foot radius around my body that protects me from electromagnetic frequencies. This stuff really works, folks. Another thing that I recommend everyone get is a TDS meter, total dissolved solids meter. Test all of the water that you put in your body. If it turns the meter red, you don't want to drink it. You do not want to drink it. Even if it doesn't turn the meter red, if it's not distilled by you, you don't really want to drink it. I reinforce all of the time for all of the people that I know to buy a water distiller and to distill all the water that they make their coffee with, that they make their tea with. That's what I do. That's what I do. That's what I do. Do I know that drinking coffee and tea and all of that is bad for me? Of course I do. Of course I do. But, we're already this deep in the system. What am I supposed to do? Sit around and drink water all day? I mean, it is what it is. We already know the why. Okay, we know why. We know why, what's going on. And, we already know who. We already know who it is. We already know who are doing the bad things. All we need to do is to figure out, the how and what they're going to do to implement their next play, and how we can, take a bite out of this beast system, because that's what we need to do, folks. We need to take a bite out of this beast system, one bite at a time. We need to pull the teeth of the beast system, one tooth at a time. And that's just how it has to go. This is such a multifaceted system that all we can do is raise awareness, raise our voice. They control everything. There's no way that we can just reverse everything that they've done. There's no way. There's no way. But we can protect ourselves using stuff like this technology, using aluminum screens on your screens of your house. But you have to get the wireless out of your house before you put aluminum screens on your house, or it's just going to stay inside and bounce around inside. You have to get the wireless out of your house. Just get a little router, a little 4-port router that you can plug all of your devices into, so you don't have to run the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is bad for us. The radio waves are bad for us. That's why there are so many radio antenna towers. It's a slow death. And they know it. They know what they're doing. The system has been running for thousands of years. We just got here. We just got here. And if you don't think that there have been more advanced civilizations on the plane that we inhabit right now, there have been, folks. There have been civilizations before us that have been destroyed. And they've tried to cover it up. That's what the whole 18th and 19th century were all about, was covering up what they had just done. I'm still uncovering a lot of stuff that they pulled back then. I'm going to reveal some of that stuff in my upcoming videos. It's a lot of stuff, folks. It's a lot of stuff. I'm going to have to go out and do some research out in the field and provide pictures and stuff, because there are things in places that aren't supposed to be there, and other things that are, just totally out of whack and just don't align with how things should be naturally. Because that's what they try to do, folks. They try to just remove our natural existence totally and just replace it with what they view as what should be our natural existence, which is just chaos and nonsense. That's what those people perpetuate, chaos and nonsense. That's their whole deal. Order out of chaos. That's their mantra. That's what they live by. All we can do is expose what we see going on in this world. That's it. That's all we can do is expose it, and I do my best to expose the things that I see to the people that are willing to listen to what I have to say. That's what that's where we're at. That's what it boils down to. And what I see on today is Sunday, Sunday, but they have you worshiping the Son of God, SON. That's how they use our language against us, folks. That's how they use our language against us. That God doesn't own any publishing companies on earth. The Almighty Creator, When the Almighty Creator created the earth and the heavens, the firmament, what they call the dome, right? When all of that was created, and you too, yeah. You know, these devil people spend their whole life trying to pervert God's greatest creation. And let me tell you what God's greatest creation is. It's you. God's greatest creation on this earth is you. It only took 6 days to build the heavens and the earth, but it takes 9 months to make you, with the help of another human being, and the help of another human being for a few minutes anyway. So, I mean, it is what it is. It takes a long time to make one of us. That's why they try so hard with these robots. That's why all of this AI and robot technology and all this stuff is coming out, because they can't clone us. They've never found a way to clone us. The closest they ever got was the monkey. You know, they tell you that you came from a monkey. It's actually the other way around, folks. Monkeys came from us. The devil people spun monkeys up in a petri dish probably a couple of thousand years ago. Who knows? Who knows when? They know. They know. They know. They have the exact date. Why? Because they created time. In the beginning, there was only night and day. The devil people created time because they hoped to turn it back. It's very simple. Okay, back to Sunday. You know, Sunday is the greatest. It's the greatest deception perpetuated on mankind is religion. You know, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was making us think that he didn't exist. It was convincing the world that he didn't exist. The devil exists. The devil is very real. You know, created all the religions to divide us. You know, God didn't build any publishing companies on earth, but sure enough, there's a Bible here that's going to tell us how to live. Just a control device, people. All those books are just control devices and programming devices. Once you understand that, then you're a lot further along in the awakening process. I don't know anybody that's read more books than I have. I've probably read close to 50,000 books in my life. No kidding. No kidding. That's a lot of books. But I escaped the programming, and the books actually taught me a lot. They taught me a lot about what's really going on, because the books and the songs that they produce all have at least 2 meanings and maybe 1,000 meanings. All of them. All of them. That's what you need to understand. Everything in this world has a meaning that it means to the sheeple, and then it has multiple meanings or another meaning that it means to the devil people. The devil people that control your reality that you live in. Because you do live in a matrix, folks. You do live in a matrix. And the faster you can come to grips with that, you can accept that, understand what it is, understand how it works, the easier it is to move along, the easier it is to move on. You know, I make these videos to try to help people. Try to help people. People that are trying to understand what's going on in this world. Because it's a difficult world to navigate. And the devil sets up snares at every angle. I'm being attacked right now. I'm being attacked. Beast is attacking me constantly. But that's okay. That's why I'm making a video on Sunday. I'm exposing the biggest deception pressed on mankind. It's religion. There's no such thing as religion, folks. You have a spiritual connection with your Creator. We are fighting a spiritual battle here. This is not a battle of where you go congregate with people in some place. God didn't build any temples on this earth, folks. The only temple God built on this earth is you. And it's up to you to empty the chalice of the demons and to fill the chalice with goodness and understanding, or at least try to get an understanding. You can get an understanding. It's just a lot of lies to sift through. There's so many lies. You know, I didn't have a Maxwell Smart when I was waking up. I didn't have me. I didn't. You know, nobody came along and said, this is how it is and that's how it is. You know, I kind of figured all this stuff out on my own. You know, there have been people that have planted seeds and led me in a direction. You know, for sure, at one time I believed that I lived on a ball earth. Of course, everybody does. Everybody does. And somebody said, you don't live on a ball earth, dude. One time. I didn't really pay it. Yeah, a friend of mine planted a seed of the flat earth, and then eventually I got around to getting an understanding of what it actually is that we live on. Uh, yeah, God didn't make any publishing companies on earth. All of these books are perpetuated by the Freemasons. Just the way it is. These people, some of them know and some of them don't. That's the sad fact. Some of the people know and are intentionally tricking people. Intentionally tricking people. And when people come to the realization that they've actually been tricked, like, it opens a whole new horizon. It just expands your whole understanding of stuff. Once you actually can understand that you've been tricked. Because a lot of people just can't come to the conclusion that they've been tricked about anything in this world. Because we are brought up with this whole know-it-all attitude. It's just the way that they create our minds, the way they build our minds. I'm going to say it again. The Almighty Creator did not make any publishing companies on earth. But they do reveal some truths in these books. I've read them all. I've read all the books. Torah, Quran, Bible, all of them. Can you say that? Probably not. I had a question posed to me. How do I know that we live on something that resembles a cake dish? And you know how I know? I've flown in a jet at 70,000 feet, or what they told us was 70,000 feet. It was really high. It was a lot higher than any commercial aircraft, and you can actually see it. You can actually see it. Okay, that's how I know. You can see it. When you're up that high, you can see it. They show you the fisheye lens shows a big curve on it, but you can see it. They black a lot of it out. They black a lot of it out. You just have to be able to look through the nonsense, look through the CGI. But if you know what's already there, then it's easy. It makes it really easy. It's kind of like that car that you buy. You go on the lot, you buy a car, and then a week later, every car that pulls up next to you at the stoplight is that car. Same color and everything. It's just the way it is. Once you're aware of something, you just see it everywhere. Same with the devil people, signs and symbols. The signs and symbols give them away. The signs and symbols give them away. And for a long time, I was stuck on that cross. The cross I always thought represented good. But after you see so many devil people wearing the cross, they're just, you have to come to an understanding that the cross is no good and it's just their symbol. Like I said, if you pull a cross out on a vampire, chances are it'll probably burst into flames in your hand. Might even take your whole arm off. Who knows? They give us all of these fake idols, in the Bible. We'll go to the Holy Bible. Since it's Sunday and everybody's probably in some building on earth worshiping a false idol, Jesus. Okay. Let me tell you something. Right in the Bible, it says, I am a jealous God. You will not worship anyone before me. That's what it says. And then they hand you Jesus on a stick. They hand you Jesus on a stick. Dance him around in front of you. Oh, don't pay any attention to him. He's the son. No, you're the son. You're the son or daughter. You're the son or daughter of God. If Jesus even existed is a question. Is there a Christ? That's still a question. We know there's a creator because I look around and I see what was created. I also see that the devil people are trying to subvert mankind, and that's an issue. I take great issue with that. Well, this is going to be the end of video 30 for the day. Forget everything you ever learned in this world and start fresh. Start fresh. Have a great weekend. See you soon.